Recording.
Yep.
We're recording. We're doing it. Probably shouldn't mention that we're doing it. All right, let's start. You know, like how I always do, I like to start off with a little emptiness first.
Gaping void.
Your gaping mom's vagina.
That poor lady. She gets picked on all the time.
Good.
Yeah.
Puts hair in her chest.
Yeah, that's what she was made for.
So yeah, after seeing Sinners for a second time, I'm done. Fucking done.
Yep.
I don't think it's that. I love Michael B. Jordan.
But you're betraying your people.
He's not my people. Okay.
Mm.
I like the premise. I love how they did the vampires. That was awesome. The music was amazing. Art, great. But I would say the connecting of all the stories felt a little mashed up, especially when you add in the KKK scene, which I do love as a scene by itself, but the switch from a long night of horror to now civil rights justice.
Yep. I mean, he died.
Good.
Yeah.
So what's
Not those drums. The drums are good.
The drums are good. Okay. So what's been up with you?
Man, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Just trying to make a living, brother. I will say, the cooking competition I'm in, your favorite chef, already begun again. The quarterfinals. That's where we're at. So I'm in 5th place, I think, right now. So there's still time for changes in the ladder, but we do have to make a dish for the chefs. I already know what I'm gonna make, and it's gonna be crazy. But I can't say it right now, because
Can you give me something about the inspiration?
So definitely inspired by like my Middle Eastern side, because I don't normally cook a lot of the food that I ate when I was younger with them, but things have a way of playing themselves out. So I already had some ideas when the competition started that I had written down. So now that I'm like looking for inspiration, I'm like, oh, I can lean on to this and then add like my experiences recently into it. So it like builds its own story. Like when you know how food like inspires you, you can replicate that.
Okay.
And that's I believe that's what people enjoy the most. So
you can tell a story of food.
Yeah. You could tell a complicated story with food. It can be 9-hour courses. You can have people sleeping in their chairs and they still finish what you put in front of them. They're just laid the fuck out. You've had like 4 bottles of wine.
Yeah.
Like the first 5 hours you've been here.
What did I make recently? Oh, I tried making beer batter pancakes this weekend.
Like a sweet beer pancake?
Yeah.
How'd that go?
Not very well. Here's the mistake I made. I used Kodiak. I shouldn't have used Kodiak. Don't go for a premix. If you're gonna do beer batter, go do the scratch. I had all the stuff for it, but I was
trying to make like a fritter pancake, like a fried dough cake, but beer batter.
More like a German style beer batter pancake.
Ah, okay.
Or is it Belgian? It's something used to go to this Waffle House growing up with my family, and my parents used to rave.
Not the American Waffle House, right?
No.
Okay. We gotta clarify that.
It's a general use of the word Waffle House. This kind of feels like almost like R&B. Like I could put some R&B to this.
Nah, most of the stuff you make is like lo-fi. You don't even get it. This is lo-fi under the street. Above the street, the banister.
I want to be the alleyway in the club.
This can get there. I believe it.
Oh yeah. All right. Yeah. So I used to go to this,
The Waffle House that you visited when you were a child.
So yeah, I used to go there all the time with my parents. I actually didn't like it because I could taste. I think my taste buds were just heightened when you're younger. And I just tasted the beer and I hated it. I thought it was gross. The beer was nasty.
Right.
And that place closed down. Never had another beer batter pancake in my life. And I was just thinking, like, I've been thinking about it for a long time. I really want to do it.
You know why, right?
Why?
Because it's your fault that restaurant closed. Because you didn't like the beer batter pancake. I'm just not But that's the stuff that has restaurants opening. You have people willing to attempt opening a restaurant. It's because of memories like that. And most people, and now like the more, I don't want to say like willing, because anybody can still open up whatever concept you want as long as you have the money to fund it. So like I believe in California this happens a lot. It's just you get the same thing now because that's just the culture that gets built up. But you have people who have these kind of memories and then attempt it like first try, and then they get into all this debt. Maybe not so much now, but the people who travel and like go to those places to have those experiences, some people stay even longer. So man, people then enterprise. They boast up. They do the American thing where they're like, I'm gonna plant my roots here and I'm gonna figure this out. Let's see. Ivan Orkin, famous chef in Japan. This dude became like a ramen like legend, right? He opened a concept that he thought, his idea was, this is how I'm gonna operate, my food. This is how it's gonna be.
That makes sense.
And if you don't like it, you can go across the street to my competitor. Oh, they're not there anymore? I wonder why. The Japanese people loved his food. He was on the New Year's Day show, like the first airing of the new year, and he's on it. And they're like, yeah, and he's like, he could speak Japanese, so it adds on to that extra. He's committed to, assimilating into the environment.
My first thought was actually the guy from Ichikoro. Like he tried it in Japan first, right? He was learning. He really went to where it all began.
Well, from my understanding, that they didn't they went over there and then they brought people back to operate. That's what from my understanding happened. So they knew people, they got firsthand experience, and then they brought some people back to make sure it went well. And that's a good seal of approval if you move in those circles. But if you don't have people like that, then how do you know? You have to go out there and have those experiences. You just got to drop $800 to spend $11 at a restaurant. But you have an amazing experience.
I also hear that restaurants are the riskiest business that you can get into.
You know why, right?
No, why is that?
Because what do you want to eat right now?
Something quick and easy.
Exactly. How do you
affordable?
How do you compete with the others? Fast food franchises, American culture based. Everyone knows it. They got a glowing sign. They're open 24/7.
Right.
I can get whatever I want right there. Well, it's not whatever you want, but
it is tough to compete with. Right. Actually, I didn't think of it as that. I always figured it was because of the profit to loss ratio.
And that's another thing, man. Everything's expensive, but it doesn't last forever. Maybe if you had some magical
fridge,
interdimensional storage space as a refrigerator, it keeps everything piping hot fresh. You'd be a mobile restaurant. Can you imagine if I had the vegetables like sizzling.
You know what that makes me think of? Like Jesus probably could have opened up a crazy ass restaurant. Like, come on, guys, bread and fish, bread and fish, keep it coming.
Bread. Jesus, we only have one left. One?
Let me see that real
Let me
quick.
see that. It's like an accordion. He made 7 bread.
God, man, that would be crazy. Oh,
What's crazier is that Jesus could have took the Romans, but he didn't.
yeah, it's kind of like part of the whole point.
That was the self-sacrifice.
Yeah.
And he got back up and left again. You know,
I suppose he's gonna be coming back probably pretty soon at this rate, or the way
maybe
things
he
are looking.
already came. He's like a child.
Yeah. What if
Yeah.
he's a child right now? Yeah, I don't want to think about that.
So fourth scenario, you either have to strip right out of high school, or we'll go to Australia for the oil rigs.
Oh, I was just thinking about a guy I knew who did the oil rigs. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not built for that.
Are you built for stripping?
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially back in the day. Yeah.
I like how your pec is pumping. I shit you not. It's gonna be in the camera. So in the scenario, you're going to the oil rig.
Yeah. My dumbass.
What dumbass?
My dumbass would be like, yeah, oil rig.
Yeah, I would also pick the oil rig because, in a way,
You know what actually makes me concerned about being a male stripper, is the amount of males that will be there.
as one who has been around a man who likes him, I get it.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
you know what you want. You know what you like. Oh boy. Is she older than you?
No, she's 3 years younger than me.
Okay.
That's how I like it. I like them. I don't like a big age gap.
Mm.
That's just how I've always been. Even when I was like 20, when I was 22, I didn't want to date 18-year-olds. I didn't want to date 19-year-olds. Mostly because they couldn't drink. And two, every girl I was seeing, just boring and just like so. Being underdeveloped, I saw them as very underdeveloped, and just like I don't want this.
My brain told me no.
Yeah, I just didn't want it.
Man, what was I gonna say?
I feel like this could be like an Outcast, like Andre 3000 just going.
Oh, Andre
in,
hit that shit. Pull the piano off the back.
Oof.
Did you see those pictures?
No, I'm not
He
seeing.
He walked in with a piano at the Met Gala.
That dude's wild.
Yeah, Kanye West was like, "I love you 3000."
What's up with that dude, man? Okay, look, I gotta say,
Nobody.
The production behind Cousins and Heil Hitler, fire, straight fire.
I didn't even listen to it.
The best I've ever heard him ever put out. But it bothers me that it's so good that you want to be like, Heil Hitler.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
You ever heard his songs?
No, I didn't hear the song.
Oh God, it's hard to. Where can I find it? Where can I fucking find it? It's like a lot of platforms are getting rid of it.
I wonder why.
Damn it, Spotify. Okay, give me Cousins. Give me Cousins. But yeah, he's basically having like a whole choir going, "Oh, Hitler." Yeah, and it kind of sounds hard. It actually goes really hard, and you're just like, why, Kanye?
Right. Yeah.
This is how brainwashing works. Stop. You know that, please. No Third Reich. No Third Reich.
I don't think it would be possible to do a Third Reich. Because, like, who...
So this one is this right?
Mm. Now, how does that make you feel?
Sounds really good.
Does it?
I think it actually sounds pretty good. The production wise,
It just reminds me of like Stronger. That's it.
I
Yeah,
like the bass in the background.
it still reminds me of
Yeah.
Stronger. I like that nitrous part though. That reminds me of when they like talk about lean and stuff.
You ever had nitrous?
Yeah, when I got my wisdom teeth pulled out.
Oh, word.
Yeah, I went under for a reason,
Yeah,
and the doctor was like, "Are you sure you're okay?" I was like, "Nah, I hit that shit." And she, yeah, the only
man.
thing I heard was the sound of the crunching teeth. What was it?
Okay, I think I could. My mom recalls this better than I do, but I do remember when it happened.
Hmm.
I was getting filling. I was getting these guys, and they did the whole nitrous. I was like 10. No, I was like 7 or 8 years old doing it. Put the thing on. It looked like a little nose, and they put it on because it was like a kid's dentist. And
They still do that.
so when they started giving it to me, I was like, this is awesome. My mom's like sitting there like, oh my God, is this a sign? Is this a sign that my son's gonna like drugs?
Yeah.
But
Chase the dragon ever since.
I did trace the dragon
Uh-huh.
for a bit there. But yeah, she was very worried of how much I liked being on that. I
Mhm.
thought I was having a blast.
Right. Yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was good shit.
Yeah. I think Kanye liked it too.
Yeah.
A little too much.
Yeah.
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 So did he get all his teeth taken out?
Yeah, he got him replaced with like a platinum grill.
Mm.
It's crazy. Well, no, it's or titanium. I think it's titanium.
Titanium. Yeah, that should go hard.
That does go hard.
Yeah.
I wonder what chewing is like with those things on.
Maybe he doesn't eat like that anymore. He just drinks everything. If I'm gonna suck on my cousin's dick, I'm gonna suck on a straw.
Jesus Christ, Ahmed. Jesus Christ, dude. We're trying to make something here that's like at least remotely PG. No, we're not. Nah.
I should Homer Simpson you.
So all right, another news. What's going on? Oh, I started playing this game. Maybe I told you about it before. It was Abiotic Factor. Been playing with Lee, and I think I've just stumbled upon was probably the best survival crafting game I've ever played.
Okay.
It's very in depth.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very small team. It's an indie game, and it's done in the graphics are done in the style of Half-Life or Black Mesa. So really old, really crappy looking, but it has so much detail that's like, oh, this really is like an office space.
Mm-hmm.
Like the way that everything's spaced out from each other, and thus the layout. It feels really good. And even the enemies, they as simple as they move and are, they are pretty comprehensive, and they do offer a lot of variety.
Mm-hmm.
And the map is huge, it's enormous.
Mm-hmm.
Lee was telling me he's following some guy, I forget who he is, but he's on his 5th base and hasn't even made it halfway through the primary content of the main game, and there's still 2 DLCs to go after.
So does a base represent like a part of the section you've covered?
Well, you can set up a base wherever you want, really. So think of it as you are deep underground in a research facility. Are you familiar with SCPs? SCPs are like a sort of like a culture phenomenon or a culture thing where like people just write up stories of like these crazy aliens or entities that the government is hiding, has discovered, or portals or whatever. Deep government shit, aliens, interdimensional beings, so on and so forth. Anything you could think of. And what's cool is that, so basically you're in this facility, there's a huge lockdown, everything's broken containment, and you need to survive. And that's the main premise of the game. You can either be an intern, a defense analyst, a chef, a scientist, an engineer. I forget the other ones, but it's all based around actual, like, I guess, government roles.
Mm-hmm.
And
Pretty cool.
Yeah, it is really cool and well made. I'm very impressed with how much there is in this game, and yeah, loving it.
Pretty cool.
Okay.
So I've been playing Forspoken again.
Forspoken.
Mm-hmm.
Forspoken.
I ended up completing the game. I'm doing the side content. I just purchased the last spell that I had available.
Oh, Forspoken. Okay, tell me.
Yeah. The fact that the studio closed, I think they're the ones who did Final Fantasy 15. Did you play that one?
No.
Arguably one of the worst in the series.
I thought 12 was, where's it 13? It was a two-parter. I thought 12 or 13 was the worst one.
No, I think 12 is like one of the best ones.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either.
Anyway, I play it because it's pretty fun, like the combat, and I did the math, you have 44 spells, like, and available attacks, right?
Okay.
It's just the complexity and how you move through the environment is just so satisfying. And I'm like,
the movement looks really good.
It needed work, obviously. Their bullshit attempt to like make a DLC and like add stuff to the game. I bought the DLC that they came out with before they closed the studio.
Right.
For $3.
Okay.
Still not worth $3.
What?
It was so bad.
It was that bad?
So bad.
What was bad about it? $3, bro. That's a steal.
The DLC, I believe, originally is like $14, like $14.95 or some shit like that.
Okay.
The DLC is a prologue, and it maybe lasts a good 3 hours.
Oh, that's garbage. That is hot garbage.
Hot garbage.
What the fuck?
And it shows you like it's not a loop, but it shows you how the primary villain, who then gets foreshadowed as not being the primary villain, entered their plane.
What?
Yeah.
What? That doesn't even make sense what you just told me.
So the primary villain, spoiler alert, because the game's like 3 years old, I think.
Damn, time is flying.
Yeah, man. Time is flying. The primary villain is like this angelic-like deity that gets summoned in the DLC because you go to. It's only 2 years old.
It's only 2 years old. I had to make sure. I was gonna feel old.
Old ass game. It's still old.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the entity entered the world. It like grew in power, and then over the years, it fought like the witches, the Tantas. They ended up breaking it apart, and then they turned it into like armbands for themselves to like keep it like disconnected because it was just too powerful. It was like reforming itself. So decades after, the armband has like the voice of the entity, and it's been fucking with the witches the whole time. One of them figures out like, I am just gonna leave the realm and start like learn how to be like a mother. So she went off to New York City, like our realm, had her daughter, left her there, went back to her home world because the witches went crazy and they started killing their people.
And this is how the main character is introduced.
That's because, yes, the main character is that baby.
Right.
Right. So the game starts as the main character, like 20, 23 years old. And this is like her final straw. She got like arrested again. She's got like a criminal past. She's like, oh, I'm an orphan. Fuck you.
I
Yeah.
have problems.
I have problems, and they're everyone's. So the piece that the mother had was like left on Earth, like our realm. So the girl finds it, and it transports her back to her home world. So the witches, they have like this blight that's been put on the realm,
Right.
and it's like infecting people. So there's like a last bastion of people, and when she goes up to them, they're like interrogating her and shit. So that's when she starts getting into her like debacle with the witches because they're the ruling power. So one of the witches kills like a little girl that she kind of befriended, and then she went after her, ended up killing her, and then they were like, "Oh, you killed the witch, the Tanta. You're on our shit list." Like, bitch, you're crazy. Y'all are literal psychopaths.
This just sounds like run of the mill exposition.
Yeah,
bro.
they decided that's what they decided to do. The problem is they made a really interesting character that can do different things.
Right.
That's the only good thing about the game.
Yeah, like the movement, the spells, they look super cool, very interesting, pretty creative. But
one of the best parts is the like expanding on the spells, because when you purchase a spell, you're able to do it, and then it's like if you perform this spell or like do something in a certain way, it'll progress the spell into like a second stage.
Okay.
So you have like
that's good.
Your basic attacks, and then they can charge into like different aspects. When you charge, they have 3 levels, so you have to purchase the 3 levels, right? They each have a special like training requirement that when you complete it, it adds more power to that spell. So when you complete the chain and have all like in the strand of abilities, you have all of them upgraded, she's doing crazy damage.
I don't like. I'm not in love with it. That sounds pretty decent.
I mean, it's like the thing that like I like the chase of, because when you complete it, things get easier.
Yeah, you get to do cooler stuff, make more of the build you want, and right?
No, you don't need to make a build because you have access to everything.
Okay, I don't like it then.
It's like you have 44 options to fight a horde, like an army in front of you.
I like builds.
No, you don't do that here.
Okay.
She's like a switch knife.
No. We need a Swiss Army knife.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, are you enjoying it? You having a good time?
No, because it's a trash kit. Like, there's nothing else coming from it. I would like to play another game with these mechanics. That's what I want to do.
Damn. That's the general what I've seen on the internet is that it has some like good bones.
Yeah.
But people want it to be a different game.
That's what I'm saying. If they use the mechanics, and the author of He Who Fights with Monsters ever wanted to make a video game, that's how each character's got to play. Because like in that series, everyone like has the chance to absorb essence abilities, and when you have 3 of them, they coalesce into they make a new essence, and it's probably the best option to ever take. But when you take it, you have 4 abilities, like primary abilities, and then each one has 5 additional abilities. So like you have, 20 abilities that are available to you at all times. They have like different cooldowns, obviously, because it's an RPG based story. Right, it has those structures. But like that's how you go from normal rank, like as a normal person, into iron rank, which then leads you onto the path of becoming like a transcendent being, because your abilities like latch onto your like the things that make you,
right,
and then they flush them out as your abilities.
Would you recommend this game for anybody.
If
else to
they
play.
if they do it right, like like a multiplayer game, like a massive MMO, you know, like what's the one, Warframe? I think that's
Yeah,
called, like Warframe. If they do a game like that, and you
I could see that really working.
because the whole idea, like in the story, it's gonna take forever from when you hit silver rank and you start progressing. You're gonna hit like a violent wall that prevents you basically from becoming gold
Right.
unless unless you grind your head against it.
Okay.
So when you become gold rank, they haven't really explained it in the story, but that time frame, that's fucking content. That's expansion, and then people start hitting gold rank, and then they get ready for people to start getting ready to go into diamond rank. So it's like,
I can see that working a lot better in that case.
yeah.
But dude, this whole conversation, not sold. Just not sold on that. On the game to try even. It sounds like it makes me think that Hogwarts Legacy is doing it better. Am I wrong for saying that?
I mean, you'd have to try it. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it to you without talking your ear off about the book series, because the abilities, you know, however like your pick is what kind of abilities you get, but they're all based off of that person.
Yeah.
So they stream out afterwards. But they all supposed to like create like your abilities allow you to interact with the world in like intrinsic ways.
Okay.
So I don't know if it would be your cup of tea, but I think if I ever got a game like that, I'd go nuts.
Okay.
If you're doing the stuff in Forspoken, like with your abilities, yeah, that'd be great. It could be a melee character, AoE support, fucking 9 yards. You can do whatever you want.
This kind of go back into the idea of having like a build or having characters.
So what I'm explaining to you in Forspoken is different than what I'm talking about as if He Who Fights with Monsters was a series, because those are definitely like those will have those RPG elements because the characters need that. So like one character, he's a brawler.
Yeah, I get the concept. It's pretty simple, and like I guess I'm just trying to relate back to the Forspoken, where like that was its weakest point is no not the customization, but no uniqueness in a player's experience.
Yeah. Well, you have to. What I'm trying to explain is, imagine if you're the player in Forspoken, the main character, and you had maybe 4 other people that can do their own shit.
Right.
And then because you're like so powerful and like the moves that I'm using her as an example, like the ability she has, you know, you can really lay it on the enemies, and then other people can come in, like kill those enemies, or you can have someone else next to you who's able to keep up with you while you're doing your wild shit, or someone even faster than you.
So, how's Monster Hunter Wilds?
I haven't touched it since since before Arc Tempered Raidou came out.
Okay. Are you gonna do you want to get back into it? Do you think you could keep getting into it?
No one invites me to play, man.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Like
I mean, they probably hit me up, but I don't get the notification. But you know, I have to know that I want to play Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
But I heard Arc Tempered Raidou crazy. I would like to maybe hold off still because the summer expansion is going to come out.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to play the summer expansion, even though I should get the gear from Arc Tempered Raidou because I'm pretty sure it's going to be useful against the monster that they're going to release.
Probably. It's usually how they work out.
Well, the monster that they're releasing was the first one that you could fight underwater.
Yeah.
So it's an underwater monster.
Right.
I've seen good stuff. I mean, when we did Tempered Arc Veiled, not Arc Veiled. Not Xeno'jiiva. I think that was what it was called. Let me double check. It's the end game monster for Monster Hunter.
I always loved Monster Hunter's designs. They're so creative, so out there. Oh, what else is going on in the fucking world? There's a lot going on. Stock market is rallying, if you know anything about that, so that's fantastic.
Let me see if I have it. Oh, I don't have it here.
But yeah, that's all I got to say there. I'm not much of a. I do a lot of stocks, but not a lot.
People who knew what was going on today, because I know that they stopped the tariffs.
Yes.
They paused it. The people who knew about it and had invested right before, they've made so much money.
Yeah.
Must be nice, huh?
God, I should have. I kept telling myself I was tight on cash.
So now you know, in 90 days, if you short the market and it does go down, you make all that money.
No, you're right.
That's what happened with the last time they did it. They put a pause on it. Trump was like, "This one made $900 million." Like, what did you say? Can't hear.
I need a fucking. I did short the market. I shorted Hims Pharmaceutical about a month ago. Yeah, I lost all that.
Mm-hmm.
I lost all.
Yeah, Hims is going really good.
Yes, it fucking is. I was very disappointed, and at that point, I was like, "Fuck, I'll buy some stock then."
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
nice,
but I didn't buy enough. But yeah, that's that. That's all I got there. That shit's a stressful. Watching the stocks is so stressful.
I have been playing Ghost of Tsushima as well.
You got back into that?
Yes, I started. Because the PS5 version always counts as like a new game. I was able to download my old data, so I just did a new game plus with all the shit that I had.
Mm-hmm.
It's been great.
It's a gorgeous game. I should probably get back into it, give it more of a chance. I only ever got to the second area.
Oh, did you go to the island, the extra island?
No.
The enemies switch the weapons there. Oh, they be murderous, bro. Like, you're fighting a shield person, then a sword guy comes at you, and the shield guy puts it away and pulls a spear out and starts fucking with you with the spear.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then the horse gets a battle armor that lets him bash through.
I gotta revisit. I know they're making a new one.
Yeah, but that's like 150 years later. Yo, I can't wait for that ghost armor, son. When she wears the headband, it's like a Ghost of Tsushima.
I gotta finish that game. I got a lot of games to finish. I started up Dead Space again, and oh man, do you want to give Calypso? What's it, Calypso? No, the Protocol. What's it called? The new ones they made.
Calypso Protocol, no?
Right? What's it?
I think so. Do I want to give it a try?
Yeah.
Right now?
No, I mean, would you give that a try?
Yeah.
I heard so much shit about it, how unstable it was. Maybe it's better now. But that game seemed to be more like closer tied to what we want from Dead Space.
Callisto Protocol.
The Callisto. Close enough.
Yes and no. I think because I don't know if they actually have guns in the game. See, look, I'm looking up the Callisto Protocol, and one of the first things that comes up is a Dead Space playthrough. But Dead Space is so good, man.
It's so good. It's gorgeous too.
I
actually kind of like that they gave Isaac more and gave him a face as well. It didn't take away from the effects. He felt better.
Yeah,
which I was surprised because I usually like the silent protagonists because you can really envelop them. But now Isaac really feels like a scared character. It adds that fear.
Well, in the second game, mental hospital.
Yeah.
In space.
That game was
xenomorphs coming out the glass plates, running like
God.
He was in the straight jacket.
I need to revisit that.
Oh my gosh, it was so good when I did it. Those were like the first games I bought on Steam.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that was a good one. especially the third game where you got to take your time with it. I used to be making crazy weapons, like flamethrower, right?
Mhm.
Flamethrower, acid sprayer. You're getting double timed. Then you can shoot grenades and shit. Da-da-da-da-da. Punk, punk. Or javelin gun. Those were my favorites because then you could pull them off, throw it back at the enemy.
I never played Dead Space 2.
You never played Dead Space 2?
Never played it.
Play the first one.
I got halfway through the first one, and then my save corrupted. And then I started. I actually hear it's a very common problem with the Steam version is that, and this is the original, not the remake, is that it kept overriding my saves. I kept losing them. I'm like, and then I just didn't want to play anymore.
No, that makes sense. Yeah, the remake, hallelujah.
Yeah,
that is what that franchise needed. I don't know what they're doing right now, but if they can jump off and make a new one
and not redo Dead Space 3.
Yeah.
Though there are things about Dead Space 3, I've been watching videos of that look pretty fun. Like dude was solving a puzzle and his friend's like, ah!
See, I never play with another person. I
That sounds
maybe
like
did
it'd
it
be fun.
one time, but I've always wanted to play the other character.
Maybe we should set that up. And
I
get
think
there,
I mentioned that.
we should set that up. A Dead Space 3 play.
I asked Lee because Lee has it.
Really?
Yeah, and Lee was like, "Oh, please don't ask me to do that."
Oh my god.
He was begging. All right, let me be real straight with you, man. I went to our local Winn-Dixie and I looked through the beers, right? Why the fuck does a pack of Mango Cart cost $3 more than a 12-pack of Modelo Negro?
California, bro.
California.
It comes from Cali. That's all. I mean, at least that's what I think it is. Mango Cart is more expensive.
Sponsor us, Mango Cart. We'll have
Please.
that shit.
I love that shit.
It's gonna be Mango Cart in the prisms.
All right, guys. I think we're up on time.
Yeah.
Pretty good time.
All right, guys. Peace out.
Thanks for coming to Small Room Thoughts.